Hey everyone, special edition of the Patriots Report. We have breaking news as Josh McDaniels has decided to spurn the Indianapolis Colts and return to the Patriots as their offensive coordinator. He was offered a new deal by Robert Kraft, gave him a higher salary and one of the great wink, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, say no more deals that we have seen in NFL history. We're going to break down every angle of this in a little special edition. So let's start with what this means for the Patriots. Well, it means that Chad O'Shea doesn't become the new offensive coordinator. Brady gets to keep McDaniels, and now the Bill Belichick retirement rumors officially start to swirl. There were a couple rumors throughout the year that this might be Bill Belichick's last year, but in the Schefter tweets about McDaniels coming back, he did confirm that Bill Belichick will remain the Patriots head coach for 2018, while Josh McDaniels will remain the offensive coordinator. But this whole deal means one thing and one thing only. Robert Kraft went to Josh McDaniels and said, Bill Belichick is going to be on his way out in the next few years. The franchise is yours if you want it, but only if you stay. And Josh McDaniels, if you looked back at the couple of the instances he's had the past couple of years where he's talked about maybe leaving, he wrote that big article last year about whether or not he wanted to go. A big holdup for him was moving his family across the country. And according to Schefter, again, that was a problem. McDaniels couldn't convince his family to leave. So you can come at this from a lot of different angles about whether or not this is about Belichick or Kraft or Brady or McDaniels. It means a lot for the entire franchise. So let's start with Tom Brady and what this means for him. So at least means that Tom Brady is going to have Josh McDaniels on the New England Patriots for the rest of his career. If McDaniels is staying now, he's probably blacklisted from the rest of the NFL in terms of getting another head coaching job. So he's officially with the Patriots forever. He's not leaving, so Brady gets to keep his offensive coordinator. And it's interesting. The timing of this is so fascinating because if you've watched the entire Tom versus Time documentary, he talks a lot about his connection with Josh McDaniels, about how they think the same things, that they go through the same progressions on offense. So Brady being able to keep McDaniels for the rest of his career is huge. He doesn't have to go work with Chad O'Shea, who's been the wide receivers coach. He also doesn't lose his assistant quarterbacks coach, John Slupinski, who was going to leave with McDaniels to the Colts. So he stays now. And now maybe Joe Judge, the special teams coordinator, also stays with the Patriots. So this is huge for a team that was planning on losing their offensive, defensive coordinators and their special teams coordinator and their quarterbacks coach. Now, the only person they might lose is Matt Patricia. So pretty huge deal for the Patriots overall. Let's go to what this means for Bill Belichick. What this means now is that while he did trade Tom Brady's heir apparent, he can't trade Josh McDaniels. So Bill Belichick's heir apparent is in the building. This is going to put a lot of pressure on Bill Belichick to have one of his best coaching seasons next year. Not saying that he didn't have a great coaching year this year, but I think that him benching Malcolm Butler, especially if you follow us here on Patriots Report and you read our comments on our shows, people are starting to question whether or not Bill Belichick is right for the job for this Patriots head coach. And to be totally honest, I don't give that a lot of credit. I think Bill Belichick's still the best head coach in football, but there is still some sort of credence there as to whether or not Bill Belichick may end up leaving. So now his replacement is there. I think a lot of Patriots fans assumed that Josh McDaniels was always going to be the heir apparent to Bill Belichick. It just never really came together. After he left Denver and went to St. Louis and then came back to New England, I kind of figured he was just here to stay. But I did think that if a New York Giants came along or another team came along, he would leave. This looked like the job for him. The GM of the Colts, Chris Ballard, has the same agent as Josh McDaniels. You have a young quarterback in Andrew Luck and another young quarterback that the Patriots traded to the Colts in Jacoby Brissett. They have a decent roster. It's improving. Obviously, they have another high draft pick this year, but it was a good head coaching job. Two quarterbacks that have starting ability is really tough to find in the NFL. So McDaniels staying with the Patriots for all in all means that Bill Belichick finally has an heir apparent, and the heat is officially on his seat to make something happen. So let's jump to next year as to what this could possibly mean. Will Bill Belichick retire? Will he just leave as head coach? What does this mean exactly? So for Belichick, it probably means I don't think he's going to retire next year. I think Bill Belichick is probably going to step back from his head coaching duties and just become the GM. or he could retire altogether, and that means that Nick Caserio becomes the GM, who's been the director of player personnel for a long time now with the Patriots. So this whole kind of John Carroll University core of Josh McDaniels, Nick Caserio, John Slapinski, and a bunch of other guys, they were all planning to leave. I think this was Robert Kraft's attempt to make sure that he has some sort of staying power with this franchise once Belichick and Brady leave. You best believe that whatever quarterback the Patriots select next is Josh McDaniels' guy. No longer is any quarterback decision up to Bill Belichick in terms of who comes next. It is now Josh McDaniels' decision as to who becomes the next quarterback once Tom Brady leaves. So let's continue this. What does this mean for Robert Kraft? So for Robert Kraft, this is interesting because this is the first time that he's really publicly done something, I don't want to say against Bill Belichick, but in a way, this is technically against Bill Belichick. He coerced McDaniels with more money, and again, a hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge deal to stay and get Belichick's job when he eventually leaves. But at the same time, he's basically telling Belichick, you can go and we'll be okay. This is unprecedented for the Patriots. Bill Belichick has been unchallenged and has had complete control over the team since he's gotten here. We remember the whole crazy thing about Bill Parcells. Oh, if they wanted to let you go shopping, at least to let you pay for the groceries, or his whole crazy quote there. That's been Bill Belichick. The whole team's been his. But now this brings it into a whole nother scenario of what is going to happen to the roster when Belichick leaves and it goes to Josh McDaniels. I also think, and again, no coincidences. Coincidences don't exist. After this whole thing with Malcolm Butler and a lot of the current Patriots players liking and commenting on Malcolm Butler's Instagram post about what happened to the Super Bowl, maybe Bill Belichick has really lost the locker room. Maybe Robert Kraft's been talking to the players and asking them what they think about the coaching gig. And I'm sure a lot of them, very emotional right now, are probably saying some pretty nasty things against Bill Belichick. We remember if this happened when the Patriots traded Jamie Collins last year, it was last year. Same kind of concept. You know, the players were incredibly angry with Bill Belichick. He had to win back the locker room over the course of that season. And again, it seems like he might have lost the locker room. So McDaniels obviously has a bigger connection with the younger players on the team. He's been there now for a couple years, since 2012. So McDaniels being back is huge from so many angles. So let's look at this once again from a Josh McDaniels standpoint. Why come back as Patriots offensive coordinator if not for the head coaching job? So he's now most likely, I don't even think this is most likely, he probably will end up being the NFL's highest paid coordinator by a significant amount. He probably was told by Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick's going to leave, and you get the head coaching job. He probably went to Tom Brady as well and said, okay, I'm going to stay as your offensive coordinator. You better be actually playing until the age of 45. And then he now has the stamp of approval from Robert Kraft that he is going to be the next head coach of the New England Patriots. And hey, he gets to stay on with his best friend, Nick Caserio. The two of them have a very close relationship. So a lot of different angles to come at this from. This has been a absolutely crazy Super Bowl rehashing week for the Patriots. And a little cherry on top, a little bit of good news for Patriots fans out there. Josh McDaniels will be returning to the Patriots as their offensive coordinator and most likely the eventual next head coach once Bill Belichick either retires or steps back. If you missed anything or any of my theories, we'll be putting this show on loop. But for now, I'm Harris Rubenstein. We'll see ya.